The beginning part of this Cobra Kai season finale was short-lived, but that doesn't mean it was without its twists and turns. The series of Cobra Kai over the years has had its fair share of highs and lows, but the beginning of season 6 has already shown that this season will be the ultimate climax of many characters. But I think it's safe to say that one of the most prominent climaxes will involve the Queen Cobra herself. Tori is a character that started off purely evil with little to no sympathy, but over the past 2 or 3 seasons, she's been getting her life together and going through her redemption arc. But unfortunately, all of that redemption and development is about to be thrown away because of the sudden and unfortunate passing of her mother. Now, what they want you to believe is that her mother died from unfortunate, unlucky health problems that they failed to catch. But y'all see how they zoomed into this fist? Yeah, I don't believe that, not one bit. They want you to think that this striking image of her fist was for PTSD purposes only. But anybody who's paying attention will easily conclude that Tory's mom was fighting for her life. That's right. Tory's mom did not die. She was murdered. And the man who I'll be putting in question today is not Kreese. It was Silver. Terry Silver is the real culprit behind the death of Tory's mother. Now, I know that statement may sound a little crazy, but if you take a moment to gaze at the stars, I promise you that they align. The more on-the-nose suspect, which possibly could be the case, would be John Kreese, especially when you look at the timing of it. The moment his old ass snuck back into America in order to recruit Tory back to Cobra Kai is when all of the BS started happening. He could have easily been on his Palpatine shit, manipulating and pulling the strings behind the scenes in order to get what he wants. This seems even more like the case if you take a look at one of the earlier episodes of season 6. Kreese was given a mission by the immortal Snake Man in Korea to go into a cave and retrieve an item from the snake. In this cave, he will be confronted by the ghost and the demons of his past once again, but this time he decides to kill them, shedding his skin and shedding his weakness so he can have absolutely nothing holding him back anymore. Kim Jong-un was essentially trying to tell him that in order to get what you want, you must eliminate what stands in your way. And we know that his unfinished business in America was Tory. So who's to say he didn't apply these lessons to her, eliminating what stands in the way? When you look at all of this, all of the evidence does point in John's favor. But just like Devin Hoass cheating with the laxatives, they wanted you to think it was Lapusso. They designed it in a way for you to put all of your focus and energy on John while the real culprit slithers away. This wouldn't be the first time Kreese is blamed for something he didn't do, which leaves us with a couple of questions. If Terry Silver is the real killer, why would he do this? And how would he do this? The why part of this question is actually pretty simple to answer. You see, Cobra Kai didn't do anything except double down on what we already knew from Karate Kid 3. And what we already knew is that Terry is petty as hell. This man is the definition of not leaving well enough alone. He has no limits to how far he will go. Even when he literally wins the battle and the enemy throws in the white flag, he goes like, nah, I'ma ruin your life some more. You can say that Kreese is similar, but Silver just takes it to the extreme. When Daniel literally tries to evict Kreese and put him out of business, he responds by putting a snake in his dealership, giving him a couple of bad reviews. When Mike Barnes tells Daniel about one of Terry's partners, he responds by burning his whole business to the ground, ruining the life of someone who was barely involved. So saying why he would do this to Tori is an easy question, especially when you consider that she is the reason why he got exposed. Her confronting him and catching it on 4K crumbled his whole expansion, turning basically everybody against him. So she would definitely be on the front page of his revenge list. While Kreese throughout the series has shown that he has the smallest, and I mean smallest, amounts of empathy and sympathy for others. My boy Silver has none of that shit. This man is a full-on psychopath. John has been shown to kinda care about Tory. He saved her from abusers. He gave her decent advice in the tournament in order to not repeat the same mistakes of the past. And he can relate to her, both of them having a sick mother. So for him to turn around and just kill her mother like that would be kinda crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. That would be the most evilest thing he's ever done. But it ain't that crazy for Terry. Let's talk about how exactly he would have done this. Now we know that Silver is in jail. It's kind of hard to kill anybody from the outside when you're in there. Unless you're, I don't know, rich. If homeless John Kreese can come up with a plan to break out of jail, you think Terry Silver can't? He's more rich, more cunning, and more smooth. In the Karate Kid universe, that would not be a hard task for him. His ass probably broke out in episode 2. One thing that's very strange about Tory's mother's passing is the way she died and the explanation that we're given. Obviously, she's found with her fist clenched up, implying that there was indeed a struggle. But when Tory goes back to the doctors, they tell her that her mother died from a pulmonary embolism. Now, what even is that? A pulmonary embolism is when a blood clot gets stuck in an artery in the lung. It's very interesting how that was the cause of her death, because I'm pretty sure that there's a specific move in karate that can cause similar damage.
My master taught me this years ago. I've made a few tweaks. I call it the silver bullet. If you strike at the right speed and trajectory, right between the ribs, you can cause your opponent significant damage. Literally, take their breath away.
Take their breath away. The most common symptom of a pulmonary embolism is the shortness of breath. My boy, we caught you. This is a very dark and horrifying possibility to consider. If Terry Silver is the real culprit behind this, best believe that he is not going to stop there. Everybody at the Sekai Tekkai has a target on their backs. And considering that they've been hyping up this tournament to be the most violent one yet, I just hope nobody extremely important dies this season. But with that being said, tell me what you think happened to Tory's mom. And do you think this event is the nail in the coffin for Tory's character? Will she forever be consumed by the darkness? Or will she return to the Miyagi way?
Oh, please, I'm so sick of hearing that name.
You know what? I'm tired of hearing that shit too. Let's talk about how overrated the Miyagi way actually is.